On today's emergency episode of Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, we've got trades. Trades galore. One trade, big trade, crazy trade, preposterous trade. I don't know how to describe Desmond Bane. And then we also got some KD trade rumors, and then we'll talk a little bit about the NBA Finals. I know that's still going on, but we're not playing solitaire right now, guys. We're recording. We're documenting what happened today in the NBA, outside of the NBA Finals. Welcome to Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. They got free parking, best barbecue in Houston. They're on the top 50 list of Texas restaurants. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. J-Bar M, best drinks in town, best barbecue in town. Head over to J-Bar M whenever you get a chance. And shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Sang responsibly. Had a little bit yesterday. I was in the office. There was a Zing Zang ready to drink can. Just pop that puppy open and have a little Bloody Mary mix in the middle of the afternoon. It was great. Watched an afternoon Astros game with a little RTD, ready to drink can from Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. I'm your host, Tone Strenkman, joined always by Josh Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Hi. I don't know how do we start this? We make fun of Desmond Bane for what feels like years at this point, and apparently the NBA views him as gods, and we're just completely different and going off the track of everyone else's space-time continuum.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 first-round picks. Where do we begin?
Let's just read the trade. So okay. Shams Charania tweeted it out this morning about 5 hours ago, maybe a little bit more. I'm looking at my phone, and I see breaking news on the old Twitter app, and I'm like, oh, what we got? A little Shams tweet. Let's get after it. What we got? Where's KD going? That's where I'm at. Everyone thinks it's KD. Nope. Hello, Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane, the Memphis Grizzlies have traded Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic for KCP, Cole Anthony, the number 16 pick in this year's draft, Phoenix's first-round draft pick in the 2026 draft, the Magic 2028 and the Magic 2030 first-round draft picks, all unprotected, and a lightly protected pick swap in 2029. 4 unprotected first and a lightly protected swap in 29, which means that's probably just going to swap. Because Paolo's going to be pretty good by then. I think he'd be really fucking good by then. Desmond Bane just fetched 5 first-rounders, and he has, a $220 million deal that he signed, last offseason? That was preposterous in time because, I don't know, I look at Mikal Bridges and Desmond Bane. They're in the same range, I believe. And Mikal Bridges has a $100 million deal, like a 4-year, $100 million deal, I think is what he signed. Desmond Bane got more than double that one, and then they get the same trade package basically traded for him, 5 first-round picks for Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic, and I hate it for Orlando. Hate it.
Disgusting. How do we even move forward as a society? Like, Orlando just gave up basically almost all of the draft capital for a top 40, maybe top 50 basketball
best night.
He's maybe a top 10 player that's 6'5", maybe. I don't know.
Is he?
I'm so thrown off right now because that was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. Hey, hand up, slept in a little bit this morning. I needed it, and woke up, and the first thing I saw was that. I was like, oh, Cole Anthony and KCP. I understand if it's 1 or 2 first-round picks, sure. 5, I mean, buddy. It brings me back to the Rudy Gobert situation, like full on. I'm just like, how did they manage to pull this off? And I'll never know. I'll never understand.
With Rudy Gobert, multiple time Defensive Player of the Year winner.
Accolades, sure.
He's got accolades. He did something for Minnesota that they really needed at the time. They needed a rim stopper because Cat wasn't doing it, and Anthony Edwards needs. I don't know. I felt like that was a weird trade at the time anyway. And just like the fit, I didn't know how it was going to work. It almost worked. They went to the Western Conference Finals. This one makes no sense for Orlando. I wanted them to take a step. I wanted them to go get another guy next to Paolo, next to Franz, like a point guard. We need a point guard. We need a 3-point shooting. We need some things to help that offense out a little bit because it was one of the worst offenses in the NBA, regular season-wise for metrics-wise. And they just need a little bit of shooting. They need a little bit less defense, a little bit more shooting. You kind of did that with Desmond Bane, but if you're going to use 5 first-round draft picks, especially Phoenix's first-rounder in 2026, I would go anywhere else. Anywhere else.
You could have gotten Darius Garland, I think, for that
if you're
amount.
doing that, yeah. I mean, that
I think you
makes
could have.
the Cavs a lot better, I think, and I think that fills a hole that you really needed in Orlando, and, like, you get off the KCP money because he did underperform this year. He ended up getting a little bit hurt. Cole Anthony is just perpetually hurt, never really panned out the way you thought he was going to when you drafted him. That's fine and all, and that's fine and dandy. Trading those 2 guys for Desmond Bane and a pick, maybe 2 at most, I'd be like, okay, that's not horrible trade. Like, that helps their scoring out a little bit. You got another guy to outside of Franz and Paolo to go score, and then Bane's kind of your third fiddle. I'm like, okay, I can see that. But for 5 first-round picks, no sirree. I cannot see that.
So
Being okay.
Stoney, what if we played a game here and we pick let's just go back and forth snake style maybe or something like that. 4, 6 guys. Who could you get for 5 or more first round picks that, they're obviously not, directly stars or people who are, the top players in their conference or whatever the case may be. Who are some guys off the top of your head that you think you can get 5 first round picks for? I said Darius Garland, but what do you think?
Like, would you like this trade better if it was Tyler Hero?
Oh God. I don't know.
Maybe. I think I would.
Sneaky, maybe.
Sneaky, like it's a slight edge to Tyler.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think that's better, but I still wouldn't want to give up 5 first-round picks for Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero is like you give that package, you Cole Anthony and KCP and 2 first-round picks.
Why wouldn't you wait on Boston?
Do you think you can get Jaylen Brown for 5 first-round picks in the players that were offered?
That adds defense and offense to your team. He doesn't have to be the number 1 scorer because you have Paolo.
Yep.
That makes more sense to me, but wait on Boston, see what they're going to do with their tax situation. You're not getting anything out of, like, New Orleans. Like, would you go to New Orleans and be like, can I have Zion?
Or Trey Murphy.
Zion? Or
Trey Murphy or Herb Jones. Like, there's guys that you can get for much less than that who are comparable to Desmond Bane's, not direct playing style, but value.
Would you not try this for Devin Booker?
I don't see why.
I feel like that's a haul, but that's a Devin Booker trade.
That's probably what the Rockets would potentially offer for Devin Booker. It would be like Cam Whitmore and salary match, or Cam Whitmore and Dillon Brooks
takes back basically,
and then 4 first-round picks or 5. You know what I mean? So you getting Desmond Bane out of that. Shout out the Grizzlies for making an absolute haul out of this thing. I mean, assuming, let's just say the Thunder is getting me bad. Let's just say the Grizzlies don't end up getting rid of Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, who's to say like they can't put those guys in their lineup next season and still be a somewhat competitive team? Like, they won all aspects of this.
Absolutely. It's like you could trade that package for a handful of players, at least.
Oh yeah.
5 players that are objectively better than Desmond Bane. We have a thing with Desmond Bane. You said it earlier. Like, we like to make fun of his box scores, his shooting splits.
Yep.
And it's usually like once a week that those happen. It's not every night, maybe once every 2 weeks. And it's just more funny that way, that we think that's how we view him. Desmond Bane is a really good basketball player. I wish he was a Dallas Maverick because we could have just drafted him instead of Josh Green, but we drafted Josh Green instead. Did you see the trade package that was offered for the pick that Halliburton was taken with?
No, I did not.
It was their first rounder at like 18 or 16, wherever they were in the draft, and pick number 31 and Jalen Brunson in 2020 for the pick that ended up being Tyrese Halliburton. And that's who they were trying to trade up for. So,
wow.
That would have been cool. But yeah, like Desmond Bane is 5 first-round picks. Like Mikal Bridges getting 5 first-round picks was like one thing. I was very surprised that happened. Obviously, he has some term. Desmond Bane has term, so you got to give up a little bit more because they're under contract. But 5 for Mikal Bridges, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. In a way, like for the Knicks team that they were building and what they kind of needed and what they wanted. They just wanted the Nova Knicks, really, is all it was. And they had the ammo to do it. They have Brunson in place. He takes a team-friendly deal. You got OG already. Like, that one, it made a little bit of sense at the time, not really, but after looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, you wait and see if like Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs are going to blow up. But does that really help you? It's like, I think it was a good fit. I don't know if Desmond Bane's a great fit in Orlando because of what they need.
You look at the starting lineup and you're like, this is good mid. Does that make sense?
It's going to be really good in the East. Like they're the 5-4 seed next year.
That's 54 wins right there. Like it is a lineup that is just good enough to be like, oh, this can win you some games, but not good enough or not great enough to be like, oh, this team can win a championship. I think God would have to strike down the earth before the Orlando Magic win a title with this team.
I guess looking at the East next year, Boston, not out of it, but out of it.
Yeah.
Like they're probably still gonna make the playoffs regardless of what they do, because they're probably still gonna have Jaylen Brown and Derek White and enough pieces they're well coached. They're gonna win enough games. They're gonna get in the playoffs. The Sixers, if they're healthy, which that's a huge if, and I understand that, objectively should win close to 50 games if healthy. I know Paul George and Embiid aren't going to be healthy, but objectively looking at it, if you turn injuries off, they should probably win close to 50 games, if not more.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, like Dame's done, and there's no one else on the roster except for Giannis, and we don't know if Giannis is still going to be on the roster next year. So that's another team that's kind of out of there. Miami's no good. Atlanta, middling at best, like 42 wins, maybe, if they're lucky. It's like the East stinks so bad that they're going to be really good in the East. However, they aren't winning more than 2 rounds. If they do win 2 rounds, like second round is that's their ceiling. That's how I see it.
Absolutely.
That's like pushing that second round of 7 games and losing. That's their ceiling.
Well, let's say they have any type of better series than the that Cleveland series. What was it last year?
Yeah,
talking about the worst 7-game series of your life.
NBA TV at noon.
That was disgusting. But that's the best part about all this is like the East is just going to get so much worse. I feel like, and honestly, if the Pacers don't run it back or if the Knicks don't run it back, then sure the Magic have a chance of getting like an Eastern Conference final. But obviously the Knicks and the Pacers are going to run it back, so I think it's those 2 teams to beat. At the moment, if it means that the Orlando Magic can get to a semifinal somehow, sure.
Like, is this team beating Boston without Jason Tatum? I don't know. I don't think so.
Not at all.
Like, no Jason Tatum, no best player on the court.
No Jason Tatum Celtics over the current state of the Orlando Magic. So, like I said, I look at that lineup and I'm just like, this is 50 games.
Suggs,
sure.
Bane, Paolo, Franz. Who's their 5th?
Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter, like 30-year-old, not fully panned out his potential. Wendell Carter. I mean,
I wanted him on the Mavs before they did all the moves with PJ and
for what it's worth, he's a top 20 center in the NBA, if that means anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 30 starting centers, so pretty good, right?
he's not a bottom 10. We'll say that. He's close.
It's marveling that this happened. 5 first-round
disgusting roster, no?
Why wouldn't you just offer that for Ja?
Yeah. You could get
Ja on Orlando
too. Yeah,
count me in.
I love it with those new jerseys next year. Come on,
New Jerseys are great.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that yet. Oh my goodness!
I know Sheldon had a bone to pick with the black one that was like the streak across the chest, but that was a nod to one of their older jerseys. So I appreciated it. Post Shaq pinstripes, like I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
But the other pinstripes, they're exceptional. Pinstripes are great.
So let me ask you, where do you think the East is going to end up? And I don't mean this in just a 1-year span, but if this continues to get worse, I mean, I don't want to go crazy here and say, oh my God, do you think there's going to be some form of realignment? But if the East continues to just stink in the way it stinks and, be trash in comparison to the West, I mean, what do we do? Truly, what do we do?
Well, this also creates a problem for my Luka to Orlando motive that I was shooting for next summer. Him signing in Orlando. I really wanted that because it's so much defense, and then you got Paolo and Franz to be your secondary scorers with Luka. I would have loved that all day long. But now you got Desmond Bane. You don't have any cap room to do it. You can't do anything.
Nope.
The hard cap is just like the aprons is the worst thing that's happened in the NBA, probably. Possibly.
Yep.
Like outside of Malice at the Palace, when everyone's like, "Oh, can't watch basketball anymore," they fight. Meanwhile, we watch hockey and they fight on a daily basis. But
there's a non-zero chance. There's a couple households in America that banned basketball after the Malice in the Palace. Like how you used to have friends who their parents would be like, oh, we don't let our kids watch SpongeBob. It'd be the same thing as basketball. There's probably a couple of those out there. I'd say
100%.
mostly in Utah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, like you look at Boston, they have to blow it up in some way, shape, or form this offseason. They have to blow something up to get under the luxury tax because they have a new owner.
Kristaps Porzingis up. I'm playing.
It's Kristaps and Drew Holiday. See you, bud. Y'all are gone. So they're still going to be good for years to come. The Knicks, they pretty much have the team for, I don't know, the next 3 years.
Yep.
Under contract, like the bulk of it. I know Mikal Bridges
that's
I believe is a free agent next offseason, but you pretty much have them locked in. The Pacers, they could just keep running it back, and I don't know if they're touching an apron.
No, they're going to have to sign some guys, but I mean, every team's going to have to sign guys eventually.
Yeah, but after watching this finals run, like I think all those guys just want to come back on team-friendly deals because that team's very fun to play for. Rick Carlisle is great to play for, and they just went to the finals. And if they end up winning it or losing it, like either way, you're looking at coming back. Chicago's no good. Miami probably should blow it up in some way, like trade Hero or Bam and see what you can do because you have no first rounders and you have no cap space and the team stinks. Atlanta stinks. Charlotte stinks. Washington stinks. Brooklyn stinks. Toronto stinks. Like the East for the next 5 years, there is nothing good going on. So if you're a superstar that wants out of your team, I would go East because you can just go win games.
And you can curate your own little venture. I mean, if you get even one other guy on the squad with you that you want, let's say you're let's just say you're like just under a Tyrese Halliburton level player, you can have play when it comes to front office decisions. Like I know LeBron was kind of started that trend, 10 years or so ago, but there's players in the East that can kind of do whatever they want. They kind of have the freedom to do so.
And win like 45 games.
And they can off the rip. Yeah. As long as they don't have a Washington Wizards type squad, which early contender for League Pass Team of the Year, excuse me.
That's September, October.
Them and the Spurs. I think them and the Spurs next season are going to be real fun. Jordan Poole, I think, is going to go East. That's a bombshell prediction from the kid.
Sure. Yeah. So if you're an angry superstar at your situation, that is the place to go, is anywhere East. And Orlando is now not an option for anyone. Yeah. Like you can't go play with Paolo and Franz because now they have Desmond Bane.
The starting lineups, that's figured out. A full healthy year of this team would be really cool. And maybe I'm underselling the real value that everyone brings to each other on the squad. Because I'm sure, let's say, you turn injuries off in the East, that team's winning 58 games. But of course, that's not going to happen. They're not going to win 58 games. Of course, there's going to be so many different circumstances. But Paolo Banchero, full year of him, full year of Franz, full year of even, dare I say, Desmond Bane. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Desmond Bane is entering his age 27 season.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just take a guess at what his contract is for this year, like money-wise?
30 M's?
36.7.
Oh.
It goes up to 39.4, up to 42.1, and then 44.8 in 28-29.
No.
An unrestricted free agent as a 31-year-old in 2030.
Stop the count. That's disgusting.
Or 2029, sorry. Yeah, it's a $197 million contract, 5 years is what he signed for, an extension with.
And for reference, didn't Jalen Green sign like a 4-year 110?
Yeah, let's look that one up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do some good podcasting.
3 years, $105 million. Pretty good. Let's look at Alperen Şengün's. Just for shits and gigs. 5 year, $185 million. Would you rather have Şengün or Bane?
Yep.
You're taking Şengün and Green for $100 million more than Desmond Bane.
You take that. I remember when the I think it was the same day that both of them re-signed. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that there is a lot of value in that. Of course, we can look back on the Jalen Green series, and of course, it's been about a month and a half, 2 months, and I have a little bit more clarity. Still a little angry. I don't know who to be angry at other than Jalen Green, but the value's still there. Okay, you know what? We're coming into next season hot and happy. Okay. That's all we got.
Yeah. We'll talk about your team here now after Desmond Bane talk. Kevin Durant is down to San Antonio, Houston, and the Miami Heat as preferred destinations. The Suns have reported that they have 6 to 8 teams that they are engaging talks with for KD and are reportedly willing to just take the best offer on the table.
Yep, that makes sense.
So it looked like KD was going to get his preferred destination, and now it's looking like maybe not. But I think ultimately he will, because he's just going to be like, I'm not playing for that team, dude. So don't send me there, because if you do, I'm going to throw a hissy fit. I'm not going to play there, and then they're going to have to trade me. And it's going to break down the whole trade. So I would assume he's going to end up in San Antonio, Houston, or Miami. The Miami trade is just like, I don't. What are you trading like Duncan Robinson and all of your random G leaguers that signed $90 million deals?
Duncan Robinson, Haywood Highsmith, and 3 first-round picks. That's all you get.
Yeah, and it's like in Miami, Tyler Hero, Kevin Durant, and Bam Adebayo is going to win you 50 games, and you're going to make the playoffs, but you're not winning many rounds with just that. So that would be interesting and tough. But sending to San Antonio, like San Antonio, KD is a hooper at heart. You know, he's just a true hooper. He's hooping in the club. He's practicing the shot. And from a hoops perspective, San Antonio, very fun.
Oh,
Wemby,
yes.
KD, Castle, Fox, like that's a fun team. That's a fun team. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, but it's a fun team, and I'm not worried about that team. Like that doesn't scare me too much as a Mavericks fan, getting Cooper Flag here in a couple weeks. Allegedly, yeah. They tweeted, they put that out on the website, the welcome party, welcome Cooper Flag, the number 1 overall pick, and they had him flexing the jersey up, number 32. So he's going back to his high school number. I appreciate that. That's pretty. I think that's going to be a good look. Number 32. But San Antonio would be fun for KD. I think that'd be a fun basketball team to watch. Houston, the trade package is where we run into some interesting tidbits. It'd be like Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Cam Whitmore, and some picks.
No.
That's a lot.
No.
It's a lot.
Hate it.
But like Fred, KD, Tari, Şengün, Steven Adams, re-signed, not a big deal. $39 million. Good for you.
This is true. Shout out Steven Adams. I think the most, I don't know, and of course I'm going to be biased here, but I think the most fair deal, no overpays here, would definitely revolve around Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks and one young guy, Dillon Brooks and Cam Whitmore, or Dillon Brooks and Jabari Smith Jr. and maybe throw 2 first-round picks in there. I think anything above 2 is ridiculous, but of course this is a big blessing in disguise for Suns people, because you see the Desmond Bane trade and you're like, oh, you can get 5 first-round picks for this guy.
But he's under contract for 4 years, and he's not 37. Kevin Durant. He's not 37 years old.
This is true, but
so you got to take that into account. He's only got 1 year left on his deal, and whether he signs an extension or not is to be determined. Like, is he signing the extension immediately upon being traded? Because then the package has to be more.
Yep.
Or if it's not discussed and it's discussed behind closed doors before the trade, and the other team and Phoenix doesn't know about it, then you can probably get away with a little bit of a steal, because KD's getting traded regardless, and everyone knows it. So I think Houston, he would win the most games, series. San Antonio would probably be the most fun basketball to watch. And Miami would just be like, I'm 37.
He goes rots in the East and no income tax.
37. I just want to live in Miami, dude. And it's just like it.
If that's what he wants, that's what he gets. I mean, he'll be at club space practicing his jumper literally all night. They're open 24 hours, aren't they?
A lot of things are open 24 hours.
That's right.
And great food, great people, sunshine pretty much all the time. Gets a little hot in the summer, but that's okay. You play inside.
Yeah, you play inside. Yeah, that's right. Shout out Cubans. I want to see
Cuban
10
sandwiches.
Cubans. Yeah, 10 Cubans and KD have a cool conversation. That'd be
and a Cubano. Like if KD's traded to Miami, I need an immediate Jimmy Butler in Miami playing chess with a fedora and a Miami shirt, like button down on. I need one of those.
Yes, absolutely. Just 7-foot Kevin Durant just posted at the park. Remember the picture of Wemby in New York City playing chess? That was so funny.
Oh, speaking of Wemby, went to China.
Yep. Monk retreat.
Not playing there, but he went to monk training, shaved his head, not wearing any shoes.
That rocks.
Interesting.
Good for him. Maybe he'll find his self and be one with God, Buddha. I don't know.
Yeah, whichever one it is.
Yeah, he'll be one with Buddha, and he'll be scoring at will. He'll be backing him down in the paint, scoring at will every day. Healthy.
It's insane that they go from Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard to Wemby, and they're all just like the least interesting.
And
NBA
David
superstars.
Robinson, the pioneer,
went to the Navy. Like,
oh my
the
God.
least interesting superstars you've ever could have imagined. All have played in San Antonio, and if KD goes there, it gets a little bit more interesting. I'm really excited for the starting five from Netflix.
Yep. Oh, perfect players. Oh my God.
Get all KD. Just meltdown body language Dr. City for the whole season. The trade rumors at the deadline. Get Tyrese Halliburton. Finals run. Pretty good. Not interested in Shea. James Harden. What did we get off the court? That's what I'm interested in.
I'm very intrigued.
I think it's going to be good. I was let down when they announced it, and now after the season's played out, great choices.
Yeah, we were wrong.
Turns out. So, yeah, KD trade coming in the next few days, allegedly, according to Shams. Like he said in the next 72 hours, like 48 hours ago, maybe. So maybe we get one tonight, and then we have to do another emergency pod. Who's to say? Who's to say? I hope that doesn't happen because that'd be tough. I'm just going to check real quick.
Yeah, my phone's on D&D, and I cherish my Sundays. So let's.
The U.S. Open is on right now, and it's in a rain delay. And Bill Simmons said, "God damn it, I just missed Tiger Woods," and I relate to that real heavy. Wow. The best part about this is all of this is happening during the NBA Finals.
Yep.
The NBA doesn't
even do that.
Doesn't even sleep. I didn't either. Like, Bill and Zach were talking about it after the Game 4 pod that they did on Zach Lowe's podcast and the Zach Lowe show on the Ringer podcast network, allegedly. That trades have happened during the NBA Finals in the past. Like, Denver did it last year during the Finals, but it was just a pick swap, like second rounders for second rounders is all it was. So this is the first time, like, in my memory, that a player has been traded. I wouldn't say of magnitude of Desmond Bane, but of magnitude of Desmond Bane. Yeah. And then if KD gets traded during the finals, then we have a super duper star, one of the best players of this generation.
So
best scorers of all time to be traded.
Please riddle me this. Can the current teams that are playing in the finals trade players with each other?
Probably not.
I think so too, but
they're playing, right? You know, like that doesn't make any sense.
That'd be funny. Benedict Mathurin, he just has a terrible game 4, and then he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I want to go play in OKC, and then he gets 10 minutes off the bench over there.
Yeah, we'll get
2 games.
let's do 5 minutes on the game 5 or game 4 of the NBA Finals and preview game 5 just a little bit. We'll be back on Tuesday to talk about it, so it'll come out Wednesday, and we'll talk about those results. But game 4, I watched it, took some notes, did some things. Indiana was in control of that game through the third quarter. Basically, Pascal Siakam was on his way to his finals MVP if they got another win. And I was sitting there, I was like, wow, Pascal Siakam's just fucking doing the thing. Like, it wasn't like an impressive scoring thing, but he was getting steals, he was blocking shots, he was playing really good defense, he was getting rebounds, he was scoring on the other end. Not impressively, but he was scoring. I mean, he hit a couple open threes. I was like, yeah, he's got it. Spicy peas on it tonight. He's going for that finals MVP trophy. Tyrese Halliburton was fine. He's kind of like Steve Nash, Chris Paul. It's like, he's not going to score, guys. We don't need to expect him to score 25, 27 points a night. He's going to facilitate the offense. He's going to get out in fast breaks. He's going to have rebounds. He's going to have assists. Not going to turn over the ball a bunch. OKC hadn't hit any threes throughout the entirety of the game. Through 3 quarters, they had 2 threes, I believe. They shot 17 threes. At the end of the game, they had 10 assists, and they made 3 threes. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hits a 3 somewhere at the midpoint of the fourth quarter, and they were making a strong comeback at that point. Indiana could not score anymore. SGA, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, they were all just playing the best defense I've ever seen. Chet Holmgren had a great game 4, in my opinion. Great comeback from game 3 where he just felt lost for 3 quarters outside of the first quarter. He was just completely lost. But yeah, they all played exceptional defense. They did what they did in game 2, and it's just suffocating. You don't know where to go. You can't score. You can't do anything correctly. You can't get out in an open space. They were doing all those things. Whenever OKC would shoot the ball, like the first 2.5, 3 quarters, they would just run back to the other side of the court. They were like, we're not having fast breaks today, boys. We're not doing that. I don't care if you get the rebound. I don't care if I miss. You're not getting any fast breaks. That worked in the fourth quarter. Hartenstein, I think, had a decent game. Obi Toppin had 17 points off the bench. He was hitting threes. I was like, this is the Obi Toppin game.
Ain't no
Obi Toppin game. Ain't no stopping Obi Toppin. But Shea hits that three where the whole possession, OKC is out of sorts. They can't get any open shots. They can't get any open looks. There's deflected balls. And all of a sudden, it just goes to SGA, wide open, hits the three, bang. It's a 1-point game. And it was pretty much over from there. OKC just took over. And then Benedict Mathurin, worst 2-minute stretch of NBA Finals history, possibly, comes in, 2 immediate bad fouls, shooting fouls. OKC goes to the line, makes all 4 free throws. He then makes a steal on the other end on an inbound pass, which I was like, all right, here we go. Here come the Pacers, cardiac Pacers. We're back. Inbound steal. We're so back. He gets fouled, misses both free throws. It's like, God, you just got to make one. Really, you just got to make one to get a little bit there. He missed both. Gets fouled again on the next possession, misses both again, I believe. And they couldn't hit free throws at the end of the game. They couldn't really hit free throws throughout the entire game. And then OKC was just making shots. Indiana was really good. OKC was making shots. Indiana couldn't make any shots. And they played suffocating defense. And Indiana just could not score for the life of them. On the free throw line, they couldn't score anywhere else. They came back. OKC won, I don't know, several points, 7, 8, 9 points, somewhere in there. Can't remember the score. But they tied the NBA Finals in best of 3. Got a best of 3 series now. It's fun.
Let's do it. Let's enjoy it. That's the best thing about this damn thing is, never in a million years would I have thought that this series would go more than 5 games, let alone Indiana even having a chance at winning the damn thing. But
here we are.
I'm not saying all signs point to 7, but it's feeling that way.
I mean, Indiana, they could lose the next game, win at home, and then all of a sudden we're in game 7 where they've already won one game.
Yep.
You win one more in OKC.
If they can win one on the road already, I mean, who's to say they can't do it again? Lightning always strikes more than once.
People say.
Yep, that's right. Man, I love basketball, don't you?
Oh, it's so good. This is an exhilarating day, and we don't even get to watch basketball tonight.
Yep. No NHL either. What are we going to do?
Yeah, Florida's on a precipice of a second back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals championship. So I'm excited about that. They're a fun-ass team. I love them. So I hope we get 7 out of both series. That would make me happy.
Yep.
With Florida winning and Indiana winning.
That Marchand goal, holy shit.
Dude, I mean, he's like 36, 37 years old, and he's like, hey, watch this, young boys. Young blood. Watch this, buddy. I'm going to deke the shit out of you. And then the goalie's going to have no idea what happened.
Right through his legs, huh?
Yeah, the 5-hole, send it backhand. Oh, it's beautiful. Great goal. Great goal. But yeah, NBA Finals, they're still going on, but we got trade season. Trade season's open. So everybody be on high alert. Luka Doncic got traded this season. Anyone can get traded.
Exactly. Welcome July. Can't wait.
Yeah, the draft is still like 10 days away.
Yeah.
June 15th when we're recording this. It's so good. I love the NBA. It's a 12-month sport, and they only play for, 7, 8 months? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah, we'll be back Tuesday night to talk about Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and then probably a KD trade hopefully by then, and
hopefully
get that out of the way. Talk about Game 5 of the NBA Finals. We'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue is the best barbecue in Houston, just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. They got free parking, great drinks over at J-Bar M Barbecue, and shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Zang responsibly. Josh, thank you for joining me. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on Apollo HOU on YouTube or wherever you get Zero Gravity on your podcast networks. We'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.